Hey guys, Stefan Swery here with Real Talk. Today we are doing another episode of Winging It. Today we're bringing in Lee Roggenkamp, and we are actually going to be eating sausages today at Worst in Fargo, North Dakota.
Smelling good, looking good.
Back at you. You can be in the worst mood in your entire life, and Lee Roggenkamp can bring you up.
Which one's the hottest one?
Jalapeno cheddar.
The hollow is going to be the one on the far side.
So that's the hottest one. So 1, 2, 3, you think?
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
And then load up with some of those hot peppers.
So guys, this is Lee Roggenkamp from the FM team. Lee, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Grew up in New York Mills, Minnesota. Was related to 13 of the 43 in my class in '96, which made dating kind of hard. But sold some cars for a while and boats, and then I've been in real estate for 14 years and happily married with 4 little kids under 12. And excited for your hot questions today.
All right, Lee. So let's take our first bite, and we'll go into the first question. It does have a little heat though.
There, it's giving me a little.
Yeah. I can already feel the sweat. So Lee, like myself, you come from a small town, and actually your hometown is super close to mine, Permian, New York Mills. Growing up as a dairy farmer, so from a small town dairy farmer to a lead buyer's agent in Fargo, kind of what brought you into the business of real estate?
I want to be part of something bigger. I love to help people. I'd say that's probably the biggest thing is, I started out in '96 when I graduated, went to the cities, did some precast concrete construction, worked for my dad running heavy equipment a little bit, and I thought to myself, I want to work with people. So I'm not a master of anything in particular to do with like the inspections or the appraisals or anything in the real estate business, but I'm a master of the process. And since that works good, and since I've had some success in real estate, it helps me do the other fulfilling things that I want to do, like being a volunteer fireman at Forest Fire Department and hospice of the Red River Valley. I get to be a companion or visitor at those at hospice. So just got to meet my newest patient yesterday. About 2 o'clock we sat down, and he loves racing. We talked about a half hour about racing, and he's a little hard of hearing and stuff, but his wife was there with him. He still lives with his wife. He has ALS, and just that sort of thing, being able to make my own schedule and to do what I want to do, and that's very fulfilling to me to be able to help people like that as well.
Actually, I think that kind of nails some of that second question that we always have. Tad Larson's one of his favorite questions is, what is your why? But I think that's kind of a lot of it, unless you want to add a little bit more to it.
And my big why obviously is, well, I may seem like the president of the house, but I'm actually the vice president. My wife is the president. She's wholesome, she's awesome, I'm lucky. I married up. And so when I can support the president and all the little senators, the 4 little senators that are in the House as well, and just see that they're growing up to be kind, grateful, hardworking people, just so I support that, and anything I can do to make that move forward is fulfilling to me too.
Perfect. All right, so as we get a little bit hotter here, we're going to jump to the buffalo sausage. But that first one, I felt the heat, and I think they undersold us a little bit. So we'll take the second bite, and we'll dive into the next question.
Cheers.
Working in the Fargo area, where it seems to like the market never slows down in the Fargo area, what piece of advice would you give a potential client?
Just to find a confident real estate agent. If you were my little brother, I'd say make sure and sit down with more than one, and pick someone who kind of fits your fancy, kind of fits your personality, because you're going to be they're helping you through the biggest transaction in your life, right? And so I'd say I get to show 60 plus houses a month. So it's pretty easy to pay attention and collect data and find out, if a house is overpriced. That happens. Sometimes there's a brand new agent that wants to be their their client's hero and they overpriced it, 10 or 20,000 just because they need that down payment. That's not your fault as a buyer. You need to not pay too much. So that's my thing that I get to do is protect my buyers. I get to be their bodyguard, and being a big guy, that's a easy thing to say, as far as for paying too much and buying a piece of junk. So price and condition, and then just to make sure that they don't go crazy during the process, because it can be so fun when you have the right person. And I'm kind of a coach or a mentor for them. So just find someone who fits your personality, and they'll make sure you're protected on the price and condition thing. And I'd say not to hesitate. You need someone who's your friend, but also someone who tells you the truth when you need to hear the truth. If there's a house that fits your top fives, and it's over on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being perfect, which there is no perfect house, and 0 meaning I wouldn't buy it if it was free. If it's over a 7, you should be probably making an offer on it. Just because interest rates probably will only be, or they will only be going up, right? And the market in Fargo, and upper Midwest here, we appreciate. There's a lot of places in the country that don't appreciate value. I would just hate to see you standing on the dock waving when all the ships have sailed. And I'm a little partial, of course, because I'm in the business, but I really do believe in that. Home ownership is what can help you retire earlier.
All right, guys, so we're going to spice up the social media side right now. So we're taking one more step up. Tad Larson's going to join us here just in case there's some questions that he wants to add. Him and Lee go back a long ways, so let's spice it up.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I did the whole thing. I don't know if that was a good idea.
Yeah, the jalapeno hits real quick.
It's coming. Oh boy.
So Lee, let's bring you back to March 2012, right? Trace Atkins is, I believe, in town. He calls you up on the stage. So what's going on there, and how does that happen?
One of the luckiest days of my life, but I spent a few times at some karaoke bars when I was younger practicing that song, because it came out in May of 1996, the month I graduated high school. So it was a #1 hit, his first #1 hit. So I knew the song pretty well, and my rental properties are insured by Country Insurance, and they invited me on a party bus to Grand Forks, and we got to Grand Forks, and we had a backstage pass, and so we were backstage with him. I was 6 feet away. He's a great big guy. I'm 6'4", he's like 6'6", and so he kind of. And so I wrote a couple of questions. Can I sing with you on stage? And he kind of didn't even really read the question. He put it aside, and then afterwards he must have gave it to someone in his band and said, "Call this kid up on stage." And so an hour later, in front of 10,000 people, I'm on stage singing that song, and my heart was thumping so bad that I thought I was going to screw up or black out or something. And I nailed it. And yeah, I could tell I was nervous on it, but yeah, that was a big step in a confidence boost for me on people being good people, and on if you ask you shall receive, right?
Yes.
That's right.
So man, I mean that was one thing that kind of catapulted me into loving people and loving just this process, and that was great.
So on your way to the stage, he kind of pokes fun of you about using the steps. Was that nerves, or were you just trying to jump on stage and get this thing going?
The darn stage was up to here on me, and I didn't realize, because the steps started going down, and the stage started getting taller and taller, and so I thought I was going to be able to just jump up and get up, but yeah. Then he haggled me. He saw my cauliflower ear from wrestling, and haggled me about that, and just a cool guy. And he called me out 2 other times in the concert, said, "Well, what do I get to say now? Is that Lee guy here again? You know any more of my songs?" And then he tweeted about me the next day and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. That was cool. The tweet was really cool. All right, Lee, so on all your social media posts, you're singing the national anthem from place to place to place. What has been one of your favorite places to sing the national anthem at?
For the big sprint cars over in West Fargo, like the Red River Valley Speedway. I've had the gal and guy who run it, I've been their realtor, and she was from New York Mills too. But anyways, she has me on speed dial and asks me sometimes to come sing it, and as there's a big crowd there, it gets your heart pumping, and that's what they say, do something that scares you every day, right?
That's right.
So this is our last question, Lee. This is the question that we are planning on asking every agent. It's gonna be, you know, our prime question. It's fun to see what other people say to this. But if we were to take you and 25 other agents and drop you into a new market, you and the 25 other agents know nobody. What we do is give you guys $500 and a cell phone. You know, it's a good market. People are buying and selling. What are you doing to set yourself apart from those 25 agents?
Well, they're not even competition. They're just in my way. But no, I'd say being a good person, gathering data is one of the biggest ones, and I'd say shaking hands. How many hands can you shake? And put yourself, because the numbers don't lie. And the more people, if you know how many people you need to talk to every day in order to hit your goals, from appointment set to whatever, to a sale, to a closing. So studying your numbers, studying the local data. So in that island of which we call it Lee Land,
Yeah,
that's my real name, the land of Lee. I'm going to study the data of, you know, what do consumers want to know. So if I have that, then I'm not going to feel like a pest when I call them, because I'm going to have something of value for them, and that'll be that nugget that they need in order to say, I like that guy. He knows his stuff, and so then it's a lot easier to pick up the phone when you're not feeling like a pest and you know what you're talking about.
All right, Lee, we're gonna go into the fire round. For this one, we're gonna do the hottest thing here. We're gonna put a jalapeno on the hottest buffalo jalapeno, and we'll try it. So, that was hot. Mm-hmm. So, rapid questions. You can either just say yes, no, or just answer to one. Or you can go into, you know, why you used it or what you choose. So, first question for you: Android or iPhone? Android or iPhone?
Android.
Me too. Buyer or seller market?
Seller.
Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
Lakes or mountains?
Lakes.
Country music before the 90s or after the 90s?
Before.
Batman or Superman?
Superman.
What's your karaoke go-to song?
Should have been a cowboy.
Calling or texting?
Depends on the age of the client.
Email or direct message?
Eyes are watering. Direct message.
Direct message. All right, Lee. I appreciate you stopping in for this show. I'm glad you handled the heat. That last one I thought was a little bit hot. If there's anything you want to say to the people, pitch however you want.
Well, fight for something. Always be looking at personal growth inside yourself, and fight for something that you believe in, and get rid of your ego if you find out that you're fighting for something that you don't want anymore. So let it go. It's 2020, but I believe in you. Thanks.
Thank you guys. This is Real Talk with Jesse, Tad, and Stefan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.
It's gonna drip.
Wet.
Yeah, no, it's gonna drip.
Yeah, let's start this one.